The fourth Sunday of Easter, 11th of May, 2025. Theme: When suffering gives way to joy. Confident joy goes through the readings of the liturgy today. The motivation of joy is the assurance of the grace of our election by God, which is most directly expressed in praises of the psalm. Worship the Lord with gladness. The Lord is God who made us. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture. His steadfast love endures forever, His faithfulness to all generations. While we might validly prefer other metaphors or images of this intimacy, we proclaim this precious relationship with God using the church's jubilant refrain. We are God's people, the sheep of His flock. The context for our gospel passage is the feast of Hanukkah, for which Jesus went up to Jerusalem. For 8 days, the Jewish community commemorated the cleansing and rededication of the temple following its brutal desecration by the Seleucid king of Damascus, Antiochus IV Epiphanes, who had sacrificed a pig on the altar and spilled its blood on the holy scrolls. Liberated by the Maccabees, the temple was cleansed, then rededicated on the 25th of Kislev in 165 BCE. In 2025, the Jewish community will celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days, beginning on the evening on December 14. In the reading from the Acts written probably in the 80s of the first century and the most likely in Rome, Luke observes that in the light of Paul's ministry, the disciples were fired with joy. In the passage from Revelation, John assures his community that the Lamb would be the shepherd, will guide them to springs of the water of life, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. In the Gospel passage from about the year 95, in his exile on the islands of Patmos, John reveals the source of his own joy. In reflecting on the intimacy of joy relationship with his disciple, his sheep, I know them, they follow me, I give them eternal life, no one will snatch them out of my hand. This joy is not a sheer gift. It comes at a price, an act which limits the tension that foe encountered and could not be solved. However, the opposition of the Jewish official also leads him to see beyond the crisis in the Jewish community in Antioch and Pisidia. He announces that he would turn to the Gentiles. He cites Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 6. I have set you to be a light for the Gentiles, as affirming his vocation, but no doubt infuriating the Jewish officials. They stood up, persecution, driving Paul and Barnabas out of the region. Paul sees this episode symbolically by shaking the dust of Antioch from his feet and moving on. The Revelation passage presents a radically different yet complementary picture. John envisioned a multitude of old nations gathering in homage to the Lamb seated upon the throne of God. The image of the crucified, risen, and glorified Christ, robed in white, they carried palm branches, a symbol of joy and victory, over the agony of the great order. Suffering now gives way to celebration in the Jewish calendar. Today might be called Erev Pesach Sheni, since Monday, May 12, will be Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, when those who could not celebrate Pesach a month ago are able to do so now. As you reflect on your own commitment and faith, recall an experience when suffering gave way to joy. How did the suffering affect your life? What changed that gave you joy? How would you state what you learned through this experience?